happen to be a director and choreographer in the area. So I am super excited today to show you a quick combination for a number from Peter Pan. I'm using a number from the musical called I Won't Grow Up. So both adults and kids of any variety of dance, any level of dance, this is an opportunity to just learn a fun combination, feel like a kid again, and get your body moving a little bit. So we're just gonna learn something a little short, almost as if it was an audition combination. So this is a great practice for that. Just how much material you'd have to learn in a kind of short period of time for a choreographer or a director to get a sense of how you move. And just remember throughout this, I'm gonna be calling out a lot of things about the characters that we're talking about in this number too. So who is in the number I Won't Grow Up? First of all, we have Peter Pan. How many people know who Peter Pan is, right? He is witty, he's often sarcastic, he's always up for being met with a challenge, and he always has an answer for everything. And so this is his answer to the idea of growing up, which, as we know, Peter is against, right? We also have all of the Lost Boys that serve as Peter's chorus for this. They back him up, they're kind of like his cheerleaders. They're also learning from Peter about how they're going to continue on with the rest of their ways. So Peter is kind of their leader, they're kind of the follower. Following the leader that they use in the Disney version, right? So even though this version's a little bit different than that, it still has a lot of fun, it still has a lot of personality, and so let that personality shine as you learn these steps, okay? Here we go. So I'm gonna start by teaching you the steps, and then we're gonna slowly add it with music a little bit at a time. So the way that I choreograph for musicals, which is different from some people, you're probably used to hearing that infamous 5, 6, 7, 8, and then going right into it. The way that I like to do it, if we have more than just the underscoring of the music, if we're singing along with it or would be singing along with it, is the idea of teaching you the movements to the lyrics of the song. It's going to help us start to blend things right away in our brains if we were going to perform it. That way we don't have to do an extra step of trying to figure out, well, this step's on 7, what word am I saying there? So I'm going to go ahead in this video and get us a little bit acquainted with that. Even if you don't know the lyrics, don't worry about it. You'll start to see how it settles in with the music, but it's a great idea to start to get everything working all together at once and make that rehearsal process even more useful and faster for you once you're back in it, okay? You can see I have my little guest teacher, Oscar, here. Lyra may come and visit us as well. There are 2 cats, and here we go. So the first thing we're gonna do, strike that nice Peter Pan pose. Hands on the hips in a nice fist, nice wide base, because he is the leader and in charge. And he often also will kind of tilt his head to the side as if he's getting ready to crow, because we never know when that's gonna happen, so we gotta be prepared. So here we are, right here. And the first thing we're gonna do is take our left foot, and we're gonna step out and make a big X with our arms to say no. Because the first 2 lyrics we're going with is I won't grow up. Right? So we're gonna go I won't, and then our foot's gonna cross behind in almost a little mini grapevine. So we've stepped out with the left, cross back with the right, step out with the left again, and then jump back into that Peter Pan pose, okay? And that's gonna hit at the end of the Lost Boy section. So here we go, 6, 7, and I won't grow up, I won't. Yeah, so notice that 1, if you're thinking about counts, hits on the won't, and so we're gonna use that to emphasize some things. So we have the music starts, and repeat after me, 6, 7, and step behind, step, jump. That's a little bit slower than we're gonna go, but let's try it one more time, up to speed. 5, 6, 7, and step behind, step, jump. There you go. So we'll put that part to music in just a second. So we're here, and we've jumped out. We're gonna hold this pose to really tell him that we are determined we won't grow up. So the first part is, I won't grow up, I won't grow up. Then we say, I don't wanna go to school. So, and who wants to go to school? I am fully in summer break, and I am ready to stay there. I don't know about you. Here we go. You're gonna do the twist, and we're gonna start by twisting to our right side. So, when I do the twist 50 style, I have my hands out to the side and kind of going like this. We're gonna use the same idea, except my hands are gonna stay in fists because I'm like punching something. I am not up for going back to school. And I'm gonna twist right, left, right. Yeah? All right, here we go, let's add that on. 6, 7, start in our pose, 6, 7, and I won't grow up, I won't grow up. I don't right, left, right. That's I don't want to go to school. Yeah? One more time with that. Here we go. 6, 7, and I won't grow up. I jump. We do the twist. And then there's an echo of that from the Lost Boys again, because they say, I don't want to go to school in response to Peter. So we're going to even more emphasize it, really embrace that idea of the kid that doesn't want to go, almost has the backpack dragging on the floor behind them. And we're going to kick out with our left foot. It's going to come right in front. My hands are still in those fists. Kick, and then pout. So we're going to cross our arms, really furrow our brow, and pout. I don't want to go to school, be super stubborn, I'm staying right where I am. Let's try all of that together, and then we'll put that with music before we learn the next part. Here we go. Start with that pose, 6, 7, and you go step behind step and jump it out. You twist left, right, and kick, and together. You'll notice sometimes I mix up my right and my left. Happens with dancers. Let's try it one more time, see if I can get those sides right. 5, 6, 7, and you have step behind step and jump it out. You twist right, you kick, and together. Ready to try it with music? Let's give it a go.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir! Then listen to your father and repeat after me.
5, 6, 7, here we go. I won't. Twist. Kick. Land. How'd you do? Want to try it one more time? Here we go.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir! Then listen to your father and repeat after me.
6, 7, 2, step behind step, jump, twist, kick. Nice. I hope you're embracing the attitude that Peter and the Lost Boys have. Now we're going to move on to the next part. So we're here, we've kicked, we're pouting away and being stubborn, and the next part is I don't want to be a parrot. So Peter's being a little, goofy here. He can be goofy at times, so we're going to embrace the goofiness, but we're going to let the goofiness build. So we're going to start here in our stubbornness, and then we're going to get kind of cheeky, and we're going to start with our right foot. That's the first thing that's going to walk here for us. And we're just going to do a little heel-toe step. 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course there's more to it than that, right? Because that's not very cheeky on its own. So the first two, we're just going to do a little chicken head. Yeah, so I'm going to go learn to be a parrot. Yeah? One more time, try that again. Right foot first. Chicken head, chicken head. Learn and parrot are those two words that's going to fall on. So learn to be a parrot, and then we're going to add our arms in a little flap. Learn to be a parrot. You'll notice my head, bob, changes just slightly to kind of up and down. See if you can find your own fun groove within it. That's a great move for your own personality to start to come out and shine and to show it what you got. Because it doesn't have to be that precise for the particular story that we're telling here. Storytelling-wise, they all have their own individual personalities, and this is one of those great moves to let that shine. So here we go. We're here. We're nice and stubborn. Chicken head walk, and the arms, and the arms. Cool? One more time. Let's try adding it on to the rest of what we got. Obviously, that's one of my favorite parts because I keep laughing. So we're here. 6, 7, and you have step behind step and jump it out. You twist, right, kick, and together. And start the parrot walk, flap, flap. I love it, it's so good. Let's try that with music, and then we'll move on just a little bit quicker to our next part.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir! Then listen to your father and repeat after me.
6, 7, here you go. Step behind step, jump, twist, kick, walk, flap. What'd you think? I think that's goofy enough. parrot, just learning to be a parrot. Now we're gonna recite a silly rule. We don't like reciting those silly rules, so here we go. We're gonna be super proper, choir pose, yes, and you're gonna lean left and then lean right, because we're just going this way, which is the reason we're going to the left first. It may feel a little funky at first, but I think you'll get it. So we're learning to be a parrot, then we're gonna lean, lean, recite a silly rule. Those are the two lyrics that falls on. Then, because the Lost Boys echo Peter, again, as they do throughout this, you're gonna do a little chasse step. Now, chasse in French means to chase, and that's literally what our legs are doing. So if you've never encountered a chasse before, here you go, you got this. Your left leg is gonna step out, your right leg is gonna try to chase it away, yeah? So, you'll notice, I step, chase it away. So as soon as that left leg comes in like it's gonna meet the right one one's like, no, gotta run away. And we chase it. So chasse to chase, okay? So we just recite a silly rule and recite a silly rule. But of course we're gonna add arms to that chasse. We're gonna pretend like we're Peter conducting the Lost Boys. So as our feet come out, our arms are gonna follow them. And I have my cool little music conductor arms. Yeah, that I'm gonna let go with that. So we're gonna go out and in. Okay, one more time, we just finished being a parrot. Recite a silly rule and recite a silly rule. Ready to try it from the top with music? Let's give it a go.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir! Then listen to your father and repeat after me. I won't grow up. I won't grow up. I don't want to go to school.
Kick.
Just to learn to be a parrot. Just to learn to be a parrot.
Lean, chasse.
If growing up means
One more time, let's try that section one more time and then we'll learn the chorus.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir! Then listen to your father and repeat after me. I won't grow up.
Jump.
I won't grow up. I don't want to go to school.
Kick.
I don't want to go to school.
Bird.
Just to learn to be a parrot. Just to learn to be
Lean.
a parrot. And recite a silly rule. And recite a silly rule. If growing up means
Nice. Are you ready to tackle the chorus? This is one of my favorite parts. So here we go. Now it's a little bit different. We no longer have the call and response. So we're going to move into this next section. So we have just finished our chasse, which means to chase. Very good on that French. I appreciate that. All of your ballet teachers in the future will be happy. So we're here and up. You're gonna go into like a little squat, but I'm also getting that hand prepped for the Peter Pan pose. We're gonna do a half Peter Pan pose. Now this particular movement, I am taking from kind of the classical canon. When you see this number, you tend to see this one particular movement, so we're gonna echo it here. It's just a nice little fun recall to the history that the show has had without taking a whole section of the choreography, just one little pose. So we're gonna come in and up. And when we come up and we point up, because if growing up, we're gonna take a look at that hand, right? Very classic Peter Pan, if only we had a dagger here to fight Captain Hook. So we're going into that squat and then pointing up with that hand. Then we're gonna take our left hand and let it circle around. Nice big circles. So it's gonna do a full circle once. Circle, and then it's gonna bring together and we're gonna go to a little squat here. Yeah? The lyrics for that, the way that that falls, if growing up, so that hits on up, means it would be beneath. So when we say beneath, you're gonna pretend like you're kind of hiding under something, and that's gonna be your cue there. All right, so we just finished. Recite a silly rule and recite a silly rule. If in and up, circle around and down. Cool? Let's try that one more time with the lyrics instead of me saying the movements and see how that goes. So we've just done recite a silly rule and recite a silly rule. If growing up means it would be beneath. I kind of got a double circle in there. That was a little bit of a bonus. You'll start to figure out what feels good for you in that moment, but it really only is those 2 circles. Okay, so let's try going on just a little bit. So we're here beneath my dignity, and then next we're gonna start to climb a tree. So we're gonna pretend to climb a tree. We're gonna start with our left, right, and see how I'm going a little higher each time. And then the last one, I'm gonna lift up I'm gonna do a funky pose with my foot too, so that I look like I'm kind of rock climbing a wall or climbing a tree. So, climb a tree, and it falls right on those words. If growing up means it would be beneath my dignity to climb a tree. Feeling good? All right. Let's try all of that without music. We'll link it with music, and then I'll teach you the last little bit. Here we go. 6, 7, and step. Step behind step, and jump it out. Twist, and kick, and land, and parrot, and flap, and lean, and chasse. If growing open, circle, beneath my here, climb, tree. Good. Let's try with music. I think it'll make a little bit more sense than me trying to go backwards and forwards.
Are you ready for today's lesson? Yes, sir. Then listen to your father and repeat after me.
5, 6, 7, here we go. And step behind step, jump, twist, kick, parrot, flap, lean, climb that tree. Nice. I hope that went really well for you. We have just a little bit left, and then we're going to do it with music twice more, okay? So this last little bit we have, you're going to do that nice step out to that Peter Pan pose again. Be really confident in it. So we've just climbed our tree, I'll never grow up, right? We're going to step out into that, I'll never grow up. Then we have a little bit of a tricky step, but I think you're ready to handle it. And again, if for some reason this step is giving you a little bit more difficulty than you think, it's a great place to bring out personality and jump back into it once you got it. That's the beauty of shows like Peter Pan and like many others where the characters each have their own individual personality. In the audition room, bring out that personality. The choreographer and you have plenty of time in rehearsal to work together to get it to where you need it to be for the show. And there might even be a case where they're like, no. Don't everybody look the same. Everybody have your own little moment here. So you never know, just keep going for it. So we're here. Yes, I'll never grow up. Here comes my tricky step. So my back leg, my left leg in this case, is going to come back and front. So it's kind of like a back ball change. So back, front, yeah? Left, right, left. So it's a little cheat. I'm going back, tricked you, I'm coming front. Haha, very Peter Pan-esque to kind of trick in there, right? So we're here, never grow up, never grow up. That's how it falls, right? Because it's that 3 lyrics, so we have a 3 step to go with it. So it happens 3 times, that lyric. So the first one is never grow up, back, ball, change. Then you're gonna do a step, and then remember that kick that you went in to be stubborn earlier? We're gonna take the same kind of kick but add a little jump at the end, okay? So this entire section is just a little bit trickier, but I think by now you're ready for it. So we've come here, never grow up, back, front, step. With that right foot, you're gonna swing the left leg forward and jump and point to that sky, okay? Yeah, that's my last up. So if we're going from just those lyrics, we have never grow up, never grow up, never grow up. And you'll see that's kind of an extended up, but I'm not singing in this particular one. This is more focused on the dancing. So I'm just trying to give you the lyrics so you can follow along once you get the music, okay? So go back to that. Yeah, what did we just finish before that? If growing up, circle. Beneath my dignity to climb a tree, I'll step it out, back ball, change step and land. And then the very last part is not me. So we just come, we step out, and we hit that famous Peter Pan pose, ready to go and super confident. Let's try that one more time, just that last little bit, then we'll put in music a couple of times and really let your personality fly. Okay, here we go. So we just finished if growing up, circle, would be beneath my dignity to climb that tree. I'll never grow up, back, ball, change, step, and land. And Peter Pan pose. Cool? Hopefully the way I said that kind of gets you into the rhythm of how it's going to go. Let's try linking it from the top without music first, then with music. Here we go. 6, 7, we step. We go step behind step and jump it out. We go twist and kick and land. Parrot time. Walk and flap, flap, recite the silly rule, and chasse. If growing, explode. Circle and down. We climb a tree, we step it out, we back ball change, we step and jump and out. Nice, let's see how it goes with music. I bet it'll be a lot cleaner than me trying to sing music and lyrics and steps all together. Circle, change, step, how'd that go for you? Yes, I know the song goes on, but we're only going to do that much for today. Let's try it one more time. I want you really to think about letting that personality out. Don't worry about any of it. I'll try not to cue you this time. You can just use me as reference. But I danced so hard my hair came out of its braid. I am so proud of you and what you have learned today. I hope that it was super fun, that you learned a little along the way, and that you can't wait to come back to theater once we can be together again, and that you feel like you have just a little bit more skills to get you ready for any of the dance things you encounter. Hope to see you at Second Star soon, and have a great day. Thanks!